What's going on, guys? NealGuides here. Welcome back to another video. Now in today's video we're going to revive a series that we did last year, Team Tuning, where you can submit your squad. Don't forget I have a Twitter, twitter.com/NealGuides. Link will be down below in the description as usual, where you can submit your team. And of course I've got many of you submitting most of your teams. I want to pick a few of these. I'm not going to do all of them because it would just take too much for time, but I'll pick a few. So basically all you got to do is send me your team for max chemistry purposes, how much money you got to spend, and then you send me the squad and I'll fix it for you or make it meta. This is, I would say, in the end of the day, it's my opinion when it comes to making a team. And I think the truth is there's certain players that can immediately improve a team and make players meta. You know, if you're like, for example, of an older generation, if you have played like the old school FIFA days, you probably wouldn't realize if you came back this year to FIFA, you probably wouldn't realize that, you know, certain players with high agility and balance are really the meta because they feel better in a bad connection. So for those, you know, the old school players who just came back to FIFA, especially after lockdown, you would understand, for example, certain things don't feel right, and I kind of go on to that when I go through the team. So he plays my 5-2-1-2 from last year. By the way, video will be coming around Christmas for the 5-2-1-2. Salah right wing back, and he plays Kyle Walker at centre back. So you have 500k with his team. 500k, okay, so you got Aguero, you got Kante. So I think first of all what we can do is we can actually change the formation. So we can actually go to a 4-3-3. I think we can actually go with the second variation, and that we still retain chemistry. Now what I'd probably do here is Bruno Fernandes is a very good centre mid, and I think with Kante this is fantastic. So we'll leave this how it is. The only issue I have is with Aguero. Now Aguero isn't the best of players. Now truthfully speaking, because you said that you do have around about 500k, I probably lean towards saving up for Neymar long term, but because that's a bit boring, you ideally want to get a top tier marksman striker. Now we're going to go with a flat 4-3-3. What I'll say is keep Salah in your team, but what I'll do is I'll get rid of Aguero and I'll put Rashford in his team, because Rashford generally is a much better player overall, and that way you still maintain your 100% chemistry. And that way, if you get, for example, a Premier League manager, let's say you get Zidane, let's just say you get Premier League, because that way you're getting Zidane, because we've got two French players, and we're going with a Premier League manager. So we get everyone on 10 chemistry, par Rashford, and he'll be on 7. Now that's completely fine. The only other negative point to this team is Werner. Now, I know you don't have that much coins, you've got 300k left over. Now, Mane is a considerably good player to buy for that price. And that's the way I would go about it in game. Now, if you play a 3-5-2 or 5-2-1-2, you have the perfect combination. Now, if you're going to play a 4-2-3-1, I would say Kante, Fernandinez and CDM. I would go Son in striker and I would go Mane in cam. But since you do play the 5-2-1-2, if I was going to fix this up, make this team a better team, and this way, don't forget, attacking threat is the most important thing. When you're making a team, you want to get the highest attacking threat. I'll leave Bruno Fernandes and Kante over there, and then what I'll probably do is I'll just have a quick switcheroo over here, and what I'll do is either have Rashford, which is not that bad. Now, who do you play actually in this position? You play Salah right wing back. So what you can do is you can actually move Salah to the right wing back position if you want to. And what I'll probably do is I'll probably put Telles instead of Walker at the wing back position, because Telles has got better passing and he's got pretty decent balance and agility compared to Walker, and you can leave Salah on the opposite side. Salah is completely fine, and what you can do is he's got 85 stamina, so he's perfect there, and you've got Rashford in cam, and in fact you can even put Mane in cam as well, and that immediately improves the team. Don't forget, with this team as well, he's already got solid foundation. He just needs to improve his team in terms of the attacking threat. That's the key. When you got money, you want to spend your team on your coin, should I say, on the players to improve. I don't know how to save on this kind of stuff. Please check my team. All my team basically turned untradeable. Okay, so he's got 0 coins. Well, actually no, he didn't even send me the footbin link. I don't know how to save that kind of stuff. You know what? Considering I just wrote it down in the first line of comment, I feel 100% feel like not looking at his team. But with this team, ideally you want to get someone like Klosterman as centre back over Davies. And for the left centre back, you probably get over someone like Theo Hernandez instead. The rest of this team is completely fine. But with the money you've got, that's what I would do. Ronaldo is perfectly fine in this team as well. I would say obviously Felix Cam, Ronaldo striker. The rest of the team is fine. I would just say try to get either Ruslan over here and get Theo Hernandez over here. Then play Mukiele and Theo Hernandez at centre back. And then you can put Ruslan on the wing. Let's have a look at this one. So if we got this from Yikes, 4-1-2-1-2. Graven Birch on cam 4-4-2. Now the issue is everyone on tradable except Dembele. Okay, the issue is Graven Birch cannot play a cam role. This is one thing, when you're looking for a cam, you ideally want someone who's got good agility and balance, because that's going to be the player that's going to maneuver. Now, Graven Birch is not that bad as a centre mid. With the shadow, you can play him in centre mid, but that is all. I think with that agility and balance, yes, it's okay, but don't forget he's 6'3" as well. You ideally want someone as fast, responsive, and good gameplay, but more importantly, he's got better than 3-star, 3-star, at least 4-star, 4-star. Now, with the money that you do have, is you play a 4-1-2-1-2 wide or a 4-4-2, 600k. Do you know what I'd probably do with this team? So let's have a quick look. So everyone's untradeable apart from Dembele and Pope. So I think keeping these players in the team is fine. If this is a team for chemistry, you probably have to sub on Alessandrini. So you got Owen in the team, you got a few of these players. I'm presuming some of these players are untradeable. I think so. So what I'll probably do here is I'll probably just do a little bit of a switcheroo. So I'll go to a 4-3-3. And then what I'll probably do is put him over here, and that's that done. We can keep that hand side. And then what we're going to do, just to maintain chemistry, we're going to put Semedo on the bench. I would leave Semedo on 8 chemistry, but if you prefer the actual, I would say the full chemistry, I'll put Wan-Bissaka there. But what I will do on this side, this is where things get a tad bit complicated. I'll probably end up going with Kamara over here, and then I'll probably end up going with Ben Yedder over here. And what I'll do is I'll put Dembele over there. Now this is the thing, you want someone else to play an other type wing position. You want to playing a 4-1-2-1-2 wide variation. So I think it might be stretching it, but if you can go for Pogba, I think it would be a really good card. If not, someone like Kante very long term, or even someone like Sissoko can get the job done. So yes, how would this team line up? So of course, again, everyone will have full chemistry again. The only person being off chemistry, that will be Sissoko. But if you get like a manager like Zidane again, or Premier League, it doesn't matter about that. So you get 8 chemistry here. So you play, as you said, you play a 4-1-2-1-2. So if you're going to play a 4-1-2-1-2 wide in this situation, what you do is you'll put Graven Birch in centre mid. You put Ben Yedder in striker. Van Bergen with a 5-star weak foot, and Dembele and Yedder, all 3 players with a 5-star weak foot, all 3 players with a good agility and balance. And just because his player Van Bergen's stats, I would say a bit better for the striker, you can move him instead of Dembele. If you are going to play a 4-4-2, however, this is where things get a tad bit complicated. Instead of Sissoko, you might have to go with another French player, because in a 4-4-2 you ideally need fast players on the wing. Now what you can maybe get away with doing is doing something like this, putting Dembele on the wing or Dembele in striker. The only issue is with Graven Birch is he might be too slow for a wing type position. So if we go back for the chemistry, so in the original team for chemistry, the way you could have done this is what you can do instead of getting someone like Sissoko over here, you need to find someone. So you need to find ideally someone from the Netherlands or the Premier League, or someone that's French. Now if I'm not mistaken, there is Martial on the team and you have him on the bench. I think just because you haven't got the coins, just slot Martial in a team and that should sort it out. And that way you can play the 4-4-2 and have Martial on a wing and still maintain 8 chemistry on Martial, and of course the rest of the chemistry throughout all the players. Now let's go over to one that were earlier ones, which is the Foot Reporter. 41 usually have 300 coins. Neymar and Makelele untradeable. Neymar's not going anywhere. Saving up for Mbappe. Okay, so how much do you have? You have 300. Okay, so what I'd probably do here is, with the money that you have, assuming that no one, so only Neymar and Makelele are untradeable. So I'm presuming no one else is untradeable then, or I think that no one else is untradeable. What I'd probably do is I'll probably go to a 4-3-3 now. I'm assuming that Ben Yedder is untradeable. If he's not untradeable, what I'll probably do is a quick get Ronaldo over here and sort that issue over there. And then what I'll probably do is, just to maintain chemistry, you can get someone like Podence over here. And then that way you can maintain the chemistry. And if you want to, you can put your icon here like Makelele. So that way you can have a better team, more reinforcement. I think you had this version over here. That way you can play the exact same way. In fact, you can probably get away with this. You can just go with a Portuguese manager like Jose Mourinho. And we're going to go with, of course, Bundesliga. And that way, the reason why I went with this team is because Podence is a really good player. In fact, you can put anyone in this position. You can put someone like Figo very long term. Like Klossman and Zakaria, I agree the chemistry won't be the best here, but they're centre-backs. They're already top-tier centre-backs as it is. The only other player, maybe you want a better defender here. Maybe you want someone else. But obviously, it gives a hyperlink to Sommer, so you don't want to get rid of him. Them being on 8 chemistry respectively, or 7 and 8, is perfectly fine. If you're going to play a 4-2-3-1, I would say that definitely get Ronaldo in striker. I'm using this combination right now, and you can put Podence and Mole on the wing. Mole, make sure he has, of course, a hunter. Neymar and Cam, Ronaldo in striker. The best combination, I would say, for an attacking team. I actually have Ronaldo in my team right now, who's actually very much carried me throughout the way. Let's have a look at this team over here. just set the team, didn't see how much money he's got. I have no idea how much money he's got. So over here, I would say get Courtois and goal. He's much better. I don't know how much money you have, but long term, of course, go for inform Ben Yedder. Let's have a look at this one. 4-2-3-1 or 500k. 4-1 or 4-4-2, 500k. 500k. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so 500k. You know the exact thing I'm going to say to you straight away, without a doubt. The first thing you want to do is you want to get Neymar on this team. I know you're not going to have the money now, but as soon as you get the money, you get Neymar in your team. That's probably the best way to go about it. And if you really want to, very long term, you can of course get Jimenez over here if you want to get Felix on full chemistry. So you can go with Jimenez over here. So this might be so that would be the first thing. That would be like a short-term plan. Long-term plan, go with something like this. Get Courtois over here. And then what you could do essentially as a right back, you can go with any right back over here. But truthfully speaking, Wan-Bissaka gives you full chemistry anyway when you put him in over there. And that way you got full chemistry in the entire team. You got Neymar on the team. So the first thing I would say is save up 300k after Thursday. Rewards was Thursday today. Get Neymar on the team. And long term, you can do something like this. Don't forget, also, don't neglect your back line. You know, if you can't get, let's say, for example, a top tier back line, just go ahead and get someone that's cheap, but make sure you go for pace. 4-2-3-1 in game. Centre backs, Kovacic needed for the upgrade. Centre backs and Kovacic needed. Hazard and Silva untradeable. 305k pre-weekend league reward. Let's just give it another 50. Let's say you got 400k. 4-2-3-1 in game. Kovacic needs an upgrading. And Hazard and Silva untradeable. So you got Hazard in your team. So let's get Hazard in the team then. I think if you're going to play this team, you want to get Hazard in. Let's go for a 4-3-3. Okay, so I think what we can do is you can actually switch this team. Actually, no, we can play like that, and then we can put him over here. And what we can do, we can put Hazard in the team straight away. I think Bellerin, Laporte cannot play centre back. He is way too slow. So if you're going to do this, we put Valverde over here. That way you got the hyperlink on the left hand side. That way everyone gets chemistry. Valverde is a top tier CDM. Kovacic needs to go, and so does Ake, and so does Laporte. This is a big mistake I see. A lot of people that are very struggling in FIFA because they're using very low play. This is important. When you're looking for a centre back, minimum 75 sprint speed. Now you can of course use someone like Laporte, but if you make a mistake and you get counter attacked, you are going to be in serious trouble. So you can't use someone like Laporte. If you want to use a very fast centre back who's almost like a centre back that's almost like a fullback or fullback centre back hybrid is Kyle Walker. You put an anchor on him on 7 chemistry. He becomes a top tier player. You put a sentinel on him and he becomes even better. So I'll definitely say put Walker in that team. Keep Bellerin in, and I'll say put Wan-Bissaka here. And that way you get the chemistry. Alisson's a bit of a fraud, but you can let go of him now. I'll get these chemistry guys on 7. This is fine. The only issue is that, okay, now you have an issue where Allen is kind of a bit defensive, but he's a bit too slow, and you got Fernandes. So what you can do over here is, number one is you can do this. But then the issue is with chemistry. So what you can do instead is, what I was thinking is, because you're playing, if I'm not mistaken, a 4-2-3-1, maybe it's worth just getting Sissoko over here, dashing Sissoko in because he's a very good CDM type player. Getting Son in your team, and that is the rest of your team made up. In terms of the manager, we're going to have to save this again, remove the manager and save this again, because unfortunately it's a bit of a glitch. Saves. So what we want to do is we want to get the team on maximum chemistry. So obviously now we've got the best players in our team. So to maximize chemistry, obviously Hazard will get 10 over Valverde. These guys will all get 7 when they get the loyalty, and then they get the managers, and everyone else have 10 chemistry. Par Son. So to get Son on chemistry and everyone else, we're going to go with a Premier League manager. So we're going to go with Premier League, and because everyone else is fine, we don't need anyone, so we can go with any Premier League manager. We're just going to go with Zidane, because we use him in the entire episode. Walker and hang on, any Premier League, and then go with Premier League, and then go with Zidane. So any manager, as I said, we just want to get Wan-Bissaka and Walker on 7, Son on 7 as well. That way you retain the chemistry, you don't spend that much money. If you are going to be playing a 4-2-3-1 in game, I would say Son goes in striker because he's got the 5-star weak foot. You want to play Valverde in CDM, and you can play Bruno Fernandes in cam, and Salah and Hazard on the wings. I think that's probably the best combination you can have going so far. But if you're like me, you may understand that I don't want my cam. I like to have my cams as second strikers. Second strikers are very, very important in your team because someone like Bruno Fernandes, he isn't that fast and he hasn't got the best shooting. I almost treat my cams as second strikers. Even with the Hunter, he's not that good enough. So what I'll probably do is to just dash Rashford in here. Yes, he'll be off chemistry, but you put Rashford in your team. He's one of the top tier cards. I've used him on 7 chemistry as well, and that way you can put him straight into your team and he can play that position. And of course, in a 4-2-3-1, it will still maintain the positioning. You can play Son like that, and then if you can do something like that, that's completely fine. Or you can swap them around like so. But anyway, guys, that is just how to make a team meta. I hope you learned something from this video. If you didn't learn anything, but you probably just saw me making teams, what I was trying to explain to you is that sometimes, even though a player is higher rated, it doesn't necessarily mean it's not great. And sometimes even the lower tier player might be lower rated in Laporte, but might play better in games. So do remember that. If you do want to submit your squad, don't forget you can follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/NealGuides. Link will be down below in the description. And I'll be having these kind of posts on a weekly basis. So all the instructions will be here, and I'll be posting this again next week. But for now, thanks for watching. Take it easy, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out, guys.